Hey everyone, I'm back with some Christmas in July cards to share. I decided I was going to look through my stash and, also get some inspiration. So I was looking through videos and I saw a video on a open book easel card. I will see if I can remember to put the name of the person I saw creating this card. Mine's a little bit, I guess, different because I didn't use any dies to create the open book. I actually went through my stash and I started going down the road of using dies, and then I decided, okay, let me also choose the paper I want to use, and then I found these papers in my stash, so I went a different way. This is the Christmas Emporium collection. All of these papers are graphic 45. It's just what I had in my stash. But that's what inspired me to go ahead and do this. But I also had recently done a book card, and I thought, oh, that would be nice if I could do some Christmas cards like that. So this is Christmas Past. I guess, let me tell you the name. 'Tis the Season is the name of this paper. But just use what you have. Carol of the Bells is this one. And then these are what inspired the book. I figured I could just use this instead of trying to cut little pages that look like books. These are both from the Nutcracker Suite collection. Enchanted Journey is this one. So you can already see you have sets of pages that you can use to create the cards. And that's what I did. I just cut them out, fussy cut them out, and used those to create the cards that I did. And then this one is a slightly larger card. And this one is also from the Nutcracker Suite collection, and it's called Festive Fairy Tales. I did not use this or this image here at the bottom. I just used the book pages. So you'll see that on the cards. So let me move this out of the way and I can show you the rest of the stuff that I used. Okay, so I have this vintage ribbon. This was gifted to me from my friend Vicky. This is some really, I'm assuming very old velvet ribbon. It's a really dark red. Great for Christmas colors. These two Nuvo vintage drops. This is what color is this? Regency green and post boxed red. Both of these great for, the sort of the paper, vintage paper color. I used my tea dye, which goes perfect with graphic 45. And this is the regular distress ink. And then I use this one, which is the Lumberjack Plaid. And there's a story. I have them both out because I started stamping with this, and then the stamp I was using did not want to take the ink. And I'll show you which one it is. I actually don't want to use that to wipe that off. Let me do this. This ink was not taking to the photopolymer stamp that I was using, and so I had to switch over to this one. So that is the only reason why I have them both out. I use this stencil from Tim Holtz collection. I don't know which one it is. You can tell it's like little, let's see, THMS. Is that what it says? THMS 094 is the number at the bottom here. And you can see it's like little evergreen leaves. Okay, and this is the stamp I use for my sentiment from Simon Says, and it is called, this is an old one, Circle Sayings Holiday, but just use whatever you've got. And then this is the stamp I was having trouble with. I wanted the poinsettia out of this set, and this is a really large set from Anna Griffin. It did not take well to the ink for the oxide ink was not taken to the stamp, so it wasn't stamping properly. I used my stamp positioner to stamp it multiple times, and the ink just was not adhering to the stamp so that I could stamp the paper. So I switched over to the regular dye inks for distress. So that's why. Okay. Here is the larger card, and I made 3 of those. They're the open book easel card. So you can see here I use the ribbon as like a bookmark in this case. And they each are different images. Well, these two are the same. One of these was my prototype, and actually there's 2 pages, you know, kind of sandwiched together in there, and you basically are going to cut to whatever the width, just a little bit wider around, and this card ends up being a 5x7 card. So the only thing is, it is 5x7, but it's dimensional, so it's not going to fit in a regular envelope because it is dimensional, and it is also an easel card, so it will sit up like this when all is said and done. I'll move that one out of the way because that's the same. But you can see I've got this little sort of embellishment here to hold the easel card upward. And if you guys know the Nutcracker Suite or familiar with it, these are the images, right? And then on the inside is where I have my sentiment, and there's the poinsettia, and then I use the 2 circles sentiments from that stamp set I showed you from Simon Says, and then you can write a message over here. So easel card, a little bit dimensional because it is a book, and so whoever gets one of these cards can display it for Christmas. And I'll show you the other one. This is the one that has Clara, or the story about Clara here. They're talking about the Mouse King, and then again this one sits up just like this. The inside is exactly the same. It's the front that's different. I like the color that you get from this image right here. The smaller version that I made doesn't have a colored image here. So really all the color you're getting is from, you know, really the book, right? So that's the first 3, and I'll just put it kind of over here. And then the second set are smaller versions, and they are more of your Christmas like music sheets, and I made 3 of them. Now this is my first one I did in the smaller version, so it's got a different paper here, and then I switched it over to this other one which has like bells on it. And again, each one of these are different because the story pages were different, and I wanted to have 3 different ones. So this one is the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. I have family members that are they have kids that danced this ballet, so they're very familiar with it. But I also have a music teacher in the family as well, so she'll be very familiar with this. The girls that did the ballet also play cello and violin, so they're very familiar with this music. And this again is an easel card. I used a different color flat back. It was a button. I cut the back off, the shank off. So again, these stand up. Slightly different version of the card. And again, there's 2 pages, if you look right here, to give you that book look, and they are dimensional. And oh, I used this Sukwang tape for the to glue or to stick this down here. Down the middle, there's a whole piece of tape, and then on the sides, there's just a short piece for each of the pages that are down. Just to give it that, when you tape it, you're going to like push it in a little bit so it curls up, and you do it for both. So you can kind of see, like it's like if you were sitting a book on a flat on a desk, it would kind of come up a little bit on the side. So that's that one. Here you go, the Mouse King. And these don't have like the bookmark because I kind of wanted it to look like sheet music, if you guys are familiar with that. And then here is the last one. So again, they're all, oh, this one's slightly different because I used the actual strip that's in the paper collection to use that to hold it up. And I just popped it up on some foam tape instead of using the flat back like I did with these, because these are a different color paper. So you can see the difference there. There we go. So yeah, I'll have to come up with an envelope. These are slightly smaller, simply because the pages were smaller. It's 6 1/8 by 4 1/8 is the total dimension on this. So I'll just probably put this in a 5x7 envelope, simply because it needs that extra space for the dimensional quality of it. And I will obviously not send this through the mail just like this. It'll be in a package with the Christmas gift. So I won't have to worry about extra shipping costs simply because it's going to go in with the packages anyway. So, yep, those are my 2 sets of open easel book cards. And I hope you enjoyed that. No dies, just some stamps for the sentiments and a lot of cutting. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.